Good morning, you beautiful people. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day today. Today, I want to talk about the Continuum, I believe that's what it's called, DLC pack, and what my thoughts are on it in Infinite Warfare. Now, it could just be that I am in a good mood today, because I am in a good mood today, that this looks exciting, this looks fun. Now, of course, Call of Duty really always does a good job with their trailers because they set everything up and make it look cool, but I think there's some interesting ideas going on here, and this could just be, again, me being in a good mood and being optimistic, which is very dangerous for me, but I want to talk about it. First of all, this trailer that they did for multiplayer that was released today, it looks as if they want to sort of go back to focusing on all of the different styles of gameplay. Now, of course, everyone tried this way back in Black Ops 2 with the Pick 10 system, except the motive behind it was really to try to get people to stop camping and start running and gunning and rushing, and that turned into what we have now with the crazy fast-paced action. We all know how I feel about that. However, it looks like they are, at least at heart, trying to say, hey, play the way you want. If you want to snipe, snipe. If you want to be what they say heavy or light machine gunist, do that. If you want to play stealth, do that. And that is at heart what I love and what I want to see. And if there is any sort of development team that can do it, it's going to be Infinity Ward. I have no doubt about it. Infinity Ward can pull themselves out of this. The thing that they've got themselves into, and that's another thing I want to talk about, is that Infinity Ward, with these DLC maps, these maps can actually change the way the game is played. If we go back to Call of Duty Ghosts, to this day, I am not the biggest fan of the default maps in Call of Duty Ghosts. However, the DLC maps, I still stick to this. These Call of Duty Ghosts DLC maps are some of the best DLC maps, some of the best maps ever, period, in Call of Duty history. So if anybody can bring this game out of where it's at, it's Infinity Ward. And if they're going to do it with the maps, I believe they can do it. Granted, maps are really one of the only things that are wrong with this game that I don't particularly like, but we'll just kind of ignore those for now because I'm excited. Speaking specifically about the maps, it looks like they have some interesting ideas here, and it's interesting, not in a good way, not in a bad way, but they're interesting. For example, we're bringing back High Rise. Now, I'm not the biggest Modern Warfare 2 player. I wasn't because I didn't have Xbox Live, so I couldn't tell from the trailer whether or not there was extra stuff added to the map like they did with Shipment back in Call of Duty Ghosts, but it looks like an interesting map that's going to be kind of fun and fast-paced and quirky, kind of like Shipment was back in Call of Duty Ghosts, which could be interesting, could be fun. I think it will be fun, at least to some extent, for the crazy fast-paced action of it. However, there was a map, the Moon map, where there was a big magnet or anti-gravity machine where you could go on it and you went upside down. And that alone, to me at least, looks like the biggest death trap ever. But that is what I think Infinity Ward is best at, taking these concepts of gravity and changing it somehow, changing the way we play a map and just innovating in the small ways. But those small ways really make a big impact. Now, if they had not just an obvious point where everyone's just going to flip upside down, because that's obviously like a spot everyone's going to keep their eye on and it's just a death trap, but if they made like a hallway like this or a piece of cover like this could be interesting. This could be an interesting way we play the game, and it could be fun. If there was a hard point in this area, that would be cool. That would be cool. That would be game changing. That would be map changing. Every time you play that map, you're like, oh, you have to think of a different strategy. That brings tactics back to this. You know, like I said, Infinity Ward does really good at dynamically changing some of the core fundamental parts of Call of Duty, which is why they are really good with their own creative class system in Call of Duty Ghosts, which is why it's really stupid that they went to the Pick 10 system and the kill streak system of Treyarch and Sledgehammer. But you know, that's not what we're talking about here. As far as the other two maps, they look pretty generic, doesn't really get me excited. One of them looks especially flat and boring. I think the futuristic maps are really clean and they might be aesthetically pretty, but there's not a lot of detail on them. And I don't mean detail as in exact details. I mean, there's not a lot of clutter. There's not a lot of stuff. Take a look at Genesis, which is like a Dome remake. Compare that to Dome, and you can kind of see what I mean by detail. I don't know. It's not a huge deal, but it's just something that I've noticed with these futuristic games. They're very clean, polished, and kind of stale. And I don't know. But that's just kind of my thoughts on this DLC pack. And what I'm thinking about doing is I am thinking about going to the PlayStation 4 or the Xbox One, simply because the PC version is pretty much dead. It's unfortunate. I love the PC version. I think mouse and keyboard is far superior, and I'll stick to the PC version for the zombies and stuff. But as far as multiplayer, I just think that it's just gotta be played on a console version, because that's the version they're focusing on, that they give the most time to. And the PlayStation 4 auto aim is way strong, so that's probably where I'm gonna have most success there. And I don't know, we'll see about that. But anyway, that's all my thoughts on the trailer for you guys. Also, did you notice within the trailer themselves they were lagging? There's that little icon on the. It's funny to me. It's funny. Even their own trailer lags. It's just. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and until the next absolutely beautiful Call of Duty morning, I'll catch up with you guys later. And as always, stay beautiful.